Hello, welcome. It's HardLore time. How are you, Bo?
I'm so good. How are you?
So good. Merry Christmas to all. Hope you've all had an incredible Christmas. This is an important episode because this was an incredible year, Bo.
Yes, that's right. Lots of memories. Lots of
memories. You know, we some bad towards the end of the year, but you know we cherished the good ones as well.
Of course.
And as far as HardLore is concerned, 2023 this is our first full year as a show.
Right.
You know, so
there's, it's funny to even think about what we were doing in January and how much stuff has gone by. So we thought we would take
it would be fun to compile some of our favorite moments of the year into one mega episode as one special treat to end this amazing year for the most part.
Yeah.
So please enjoy this collection of goodies that we've put together. Some of our personal favorites of the year. Enjoy. Mind Force, Pillars of Ivory, this pizza eating motherfucker, cinema watching legend. Jay from Mind Force, how are you, sir?
Oh, it's great to be here, guys. I'm honored. The world's finding a lot about me tonight.
This is great stuff, man.
Yeah, this is good.
Let me ask you this. Mind Force is playing. And just for the record, I'm not trying to get you here because my answer is yes.
Okay.
Do you encourage violence?
Yeah, oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
I beg for violence.
I mean, I you know, I believe the last show we played, I called for a stylistic expression of violence.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, right?
That's beautiful. Well said.
Yeah.
It is a martial art, you know? Like break down what those words mean and tell me moshing isn't that, you know?
Yeah.
There's definitely an art to not getting knocked out. If you watch some of the best moshers, there's an art to like bouncing around. I don't know. I think it's true.
Well, it's kill or be killed, truly.
Oh, it's worse than ever these days.
It's really, the more you embrace that, the
Really?
safer you're going to be.
You think so? You think it's worse than ever?
Yeah, and this is something like I like to put out there on the record because I mean I haven't been here forever, but been around a while. You know, I mean, I was at the Satisfaction record release show for Hatebreed. I was at legendary All Out War shows. I seen a lot of legendary shit, and I've been around a lot of scary shit. And I think when it comes to the moshing, I think it's crazier now, and this is why. Hear me out. Back then, only a couple of the craziest motherfuckers could get away with the way everyone is moshing now. And back then, people were quicker to fight when they got hit. You know, now if you fight when you got hit, you're an asshole. The whole show's throwing you
like
out.
You're kind of a pussy and like.
There are ways it was way scarier then, but not on the dance floor. I think the people were scarier at shows, and I think I think someone would stab you in the venue more then. In that way, it was scarier. But when it comes to the actual moshing, I think it's more violent now. I also think it was scarier in where the shows were. Like you had to follow a treasure map to some of these shows. And I get leaving from the car to the venue door, the parking lot, almost getting robbed, stabbed. In that way, it was way scarier where the shows were. But I mean, motherfuckers with pink hair are punching each other right in the fucking face,
killing each other.
They're even killing each other these days.
It's awesome.
It's the best thing ever.
Yeah,
it's the best thing ever.
It is. I mean, it's like why do what we do if we don't want that? You know,
that is to the core of you, Colin. That is your ethos.
It really is.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but when I'm writing like a mosh part, like I'm envisioning the fucking warfare.
It is a visual thing.
You know,
every mosh part is a science project.
Okay.
And there's not like writing an original mosh part now is so much harder than writing a hook. You know?
Yeah. Well, of course.
A chorus. You just
I agree.
Done.
Done. There's a chorus.
That was it. I just wrote one.
Yeah.
Mosh part that makes me feel something enough to visualize it in my mind. You got to see it.
I see. Do you ever see like specific scenes? I see like I'll see something from maybe it's some type of mesh of a video I saw and something I saw live. Like when I was writing the New Lord shit, I was picturing a lot of like specifically Japanese mosh pits.
Oh, the fucking what's that one video? Something Mosh Style 2 or whatever.
I don't know the name of it, but I know the
You know what
one.
I'm talking about?
It's like some of the shots are from low. Motherfuckers are spin kicking over the camera. Yeah. It's like the dude's in the pit.
And it's crazy because like they're kind of Japanese. My experience in Japan is that they mosh very respectfully.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like one guy at a time doing his thing, and then the next guy goes. It's like a breakdance circle.
But the thing is, it was more like that back then. Like watch the videos, you'll see it for yourself.
Yeah.
The thing is, a lot of older guys, they want to feel like their time was they were the craziest, this and that. But I think the videos speak for themselves. Watch the videos, man.
I remember
there was a big one.
Oh, I will say this. When it comes to stage diving, that shit's whack now.
It's bad.
Motherfuckers need to YouTube All Out War 25 to Life at the Chance, Poughkeepsie, New York. Watch everything, copy it. It's not that hard. Figure it out.
Well, the thing that's crazy to me is
it's getting bad.
People don't jump.
Nah.
They just run.
Or they just step and fall.
Yeah, and step. You got to fucking jump.
Just do a little leap.
And land on your back.
I'm more likely to catch you if I can see if you got some hang time. I know you're not going to hit me as hard. I'm going for you if you do that.
Most definitely.
If you just fall on me, what the fuck? Get off me, you know?
Yeah.
But flight is like I feel like it's there's the momentum is different. I can safely escort you to
you can kind of it's like catching a heavy whatever. Yeah,
exactly.
I got you.
Zuma from Cruelty, he's back. How are you, Zuma?
Yo, I'm back.
What do you say about desserts?
It's about American dessert.
Yeah, you say I don't eat that because I'm an adult, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
I love shakes, but like they're bad for my stomach.
100%.
Oh yeah.
So during the tour, I don't want to get fucked up before my set.
You shit yourself all the time?
Yeah. So I shit. Let me say. So mostly I shit 5 times in a day.
Once
it's
for
crazy,
every
right?
meal. Yeah.
And then 3 of those 5 are diarrhea. Go fucking grind, man.
Go grind.
Oh my God, it's Chubby from the Chisel and Chubby and the Gang.
And he's my top.
I've always got this on.
Here we are, Large Benjamin. Tell us a little bit about him.
First ever clock, time was invented here. Before that, there's a lot of waiting around. No one knew whether they were coming or going.
It's all sundials.
Looking at the sun, walking around. And now, you know where to go.
How often?
Thank you, Ben.
How often are you, UK born and bred, come in and just look at Big Ben?
Just to check my watch, really. Just to like check the time, just make sure that my iPhone's correct, my watch is correct, my stopwatch is correct.
A lot of people don't know that. They sync up the iPhone to Ben.
Yeah.
To Ben. That's how it works. The source of all time.
You change that, we're fucked.
Yeah. I love lying on the show. Lying?
Misinformation.
Oh, it's good, yeah. we purposely spread it as often as possible. What else we got here? What's that?
I don't know. I think they just built it.
Okay.
That's the London Eye.
The London Eye.
This is the Thames.
Oh, this is the Thames.
This is the Thames.
I've heard a lot about this.
You ever been in
Bill Shakespeare, big fan of these fuckers.
You ever been in there?
I used to fish out of the Thames, swim in there, like laid traps.
Really?
Yeah.
For real?
Not this bit, but like further down there.
Yeah.
Towards like Hounslow and all those
There's
places.
edible fish in this.
I mean, it depends how much you want to keep your immune system on its toes. You know what I mean? I used to catch like crayfish out of the Thames.
So you're straight up. Your immune system was a fucking acrobat.
Yeah, you know, I don't get food poisoning very often now. You know what I mean? Sort of got it all out of the way when I was younger.
One of these is MI5 or MI6, right? That one right there?
That circle top one, I think is it. Yeah. Oh wait, hang on. Or is it that one? Yeah, the one with the clock on it.
It's the,
one of those two.
That's the ankle break, right?
Yeah. Apparently with that building, you can't, there's no ground floor. You get in an elevator that takes you to the top, and the further down you go, the more secure the pass is. So I'm told. But you know,
he's been
what do I know?
Yeah, well,
you know it all.
More than you lead on, I'm sure. Whenever we get interviewed by people as California residents, they always ask, like, how does California play into your music? And it's maybe the worst question to ever be asked. But I feel like that's different with London being like the birthplace of punk.
You think so?
Yeah. I feel like if I lived here, I'd be like songs about London. Are so cool.
Oh, I'm a sucker for that.
Oh yeah, so are we.
What's the best one ever? What's the one where it comes on and you and the boys in the pub are like,
maybe a Pogues one, you know, like White City. I get a bit emotional because I'm from like near White City, so when I hear White City, I'm like,
it's me, man. It's a good song.
It's a good song, man. It's good. It was a good boy, you know. It's still alive, but
what post COVID in the pub after lockdown, was it real? Where the whole pub is singing, the whole city's singing?
Yeah.
What was the song that came on that made the pub come alive?
People at that time, because I think it was around like the World Cup and shit, people singing Sweet Caroline a lot.
Crazy.
It is crazy.
A real American.
You could have gone in the pub and just been like Sweet Caroline, and everyone's just gone. Isn't
it crazy that that's not in the song?
I know, yeah. When I listen to it, I'm like,
it's the horns.
The horns, but the ba ba ba. People are convinced.
Just added.
They should get him. They should AI generate one way. He does it.
Here it is. Check it. I hope you enjoy it.
Who sings that? It's not Neil Diamond. Is it Neil Diamond?
Of course. Fuck. It's old Neil, dude. He's a gangster.
Yeah, he is a gangster.
Shrek. Is this a different Shrek or?
No.
I don't.
That's our Shrek.
I think it's the one.
Yeah. That's Shrek.
He's this tied in.
It all comes back. It all comes back to London. It all comes back to London.
God,
birthplace of punk. Shrek.
Shrek was set here, actually. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah. Wow. So what are they doing there?
That's the aquarium.
Oh, that's the aquarium.
Yeah.
That's the aquarium.
That's the fucking zoo.
Okay. What are they doing there? Fuck shit up.
Yeah, just make decisions. I don't know.
How do you feel about the government?
Not positively.
Yeah.
Punk. British punk.
That's what punk's all about.
That's the way it's done.
Not positively.
We have an unbelievable guest today. The godfather of spin kick anthems. The podfather of extreme music podcasting. A man who paved the way for HardLore in so many ways.
Wow.
Musically, personally, otherlies. Jamie Josta. It's so fascinating to hear this, to just be like, yo.
Because we had a show booked. So it was like, you got to have demos to sell at the show.
You had to get it out.
So that was your motivation to recording music, was just having something for the gig?
Because it's hard to describe. There was this, like, I guess back then you could call it a collective consciousness, but you knew shit was about to pop off because it was a changing of the guard. And you would go to shows with these legendary bands. I used to go to every show. So I would go to like Overkill and Prong, and I would be like, oh, these guys, like, this audience is totally different from the audience that was at fucking Into Another. Like, it's a completely different crowd. Yeah. But you would see a couple of the crossover. Yes. And you would go, oh, this is a person. Like, this is a dude. Like, or this is a chick. So you go to see Mighty Boss Tones and you would go, wait, okay. There's moshing. Yeah. There's stage diving, but it's different. And then there's girls at that show. So you give your flyer to those girls at that show and you holler and you say, hey, come to this show. Now they come to your show and they're like, oh man, we're the only two girls here. It's a little scary. Sure. But you're building something out. Wow.
The analytics that you're describing right now are all this is all evidence to why Hatebreed is the biggest, statistically the biggest hardcore band of all time.
My band still doesn't think about shit like that.
Yeah, I would never think about
that. You know what was a big eye opener for us was, and rest in peace, this guy Mark Shitty. I don't know if you ever heard stories about Mark Shitty, but
Mark Shitty?
Yeah.
Mr.
Rest in
Shitty.
peace, Mark
R.I.P.
Shitty.
R.I.P.
Mark Martin. I used to take the Q bus to the record store, and then in New Haven, and I would take the bus to and from school. You take the city bus like everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was going into a record store and he was coming out, and I forget what shirt I was wearing. I think it was Super Touch. And I remembered he was like, dude, nice shirt, whatever. And he had just bought Urban Discipline on tape. And he was like, wait till you hear this. I had a couple of the songs from the Maze record from a friend of mine at school who made me a mixtape, and I had like Sepultura, Benediction, Napalm, Biohazard, Carnivore, some of the typo stuff. I think it was back then, it was probably like the stuff that made it onto Slow, Deep, and Hard.
Yeah.
But he had said, right on, dude. You know, I said, oh, I want to get that. I want to get that tape. I didn't have enough. I ended up getting Earth AD, and I listened to, and Earth AD actually was in the dollar bin. I remember the kids saying, oh, they're trying to go metal, they're trying to go thrash or whatever. Because depending on who you would talk to, there was always like the gatekeeper thing where this was big back then. Like the punkers didn't want quickness. They didn't want Earth AD, but I was all about that action.
Yeah.
This is everything we were saying last week on the Bad Albums one, is that like people now don't understand this divide that there was upon the release of every single one of these things. It's like this band's entire fan base basically being like, nope, fuck this and fuck everything they've ever done because it's not exactly the same.
Yeah, and I thought, wow, this is cool that he likes the second Biohazard, because even then there was people like, no, it'll never touch the self-titled or the Maze record or whatever you call it. But so then he goes, oh, we're going to a show, you know, and I was like, all right, right on, I'll see you there. And it was Fugazi. And we started moshing, me, him, and some other people. We didn't know. We thought, oh, it's members of Minor Threat. We don't fucking know. They stop the show. They kick us out.
Wow.
Yeah. And I thought, this is it. Like, there's a whole, like, for every one of these people, there's like thousands of people that need this release. Like, I was like, how could the guy from Minor Threat be too cool for this? And they were just evolving as people. They just saw all the violence already with Minor Threat ruining the shows, and and that was happening at that time at even like Biohazard shows and Agnostic Front shows. Like the violence had really put a damper in things. But
I would hear from older Connecticut guys, they'd be like, yo, I didn't even really like Biohazard. I just loved moshing. And it was like so violent that I just had to be a part of it.
Oh, it was sanctioned violence. It was crazy. They played down the street from my house with Typo Negative and Exploited. I rode my bike there, and literally walking up, like people are coming out like bloody, fucking shoes off. Like there was so many fights. It was crazy, but that was an important thing. It was a positive release, even though that bands like Fugazi and their fans looked at it as very bad. It was way better than these kids, what they could have been doing. They could have been crawling through your window. They could have been doing, but they were at the show moshing and having this release. So that was always like in my mind, like, okay, yeah, this is, if these people hate it, this means other people are going to love this.
Ooh.
Right.
Yeah, there's such a thing as positive aggression, and there are ways that people can let it out, whether it's like lifting weights or doing fucking, you know, Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu or whatever, and sometimes it's spin kicking.
Oh,
Stage diving.
Preach.
You know? Yeah.
How far?
It always gets taken too far too. So you're going to go to extremes. It's like a healthy balance of it. We just had a collective consciousness where you knew this is not welcome here, but that's good. This is fuel for the fire. We can do it somewhere else, and we don't need them and they don't need us, and it's fine.
That's how you felt at the time?
Yeah. And also that's kind of the thinking behind your last episode with, people wanting to make the jump. I never fault the people for trying to make the jump and create a new collective consciousness, but you're really rolling the dice when you don't serve the base that you have.
Some people don't know they're making a jump with these records, though.
Right.
They do. They say they don't. They say they don't, but they do. And before I forget, I wanted to bring that up because when you guys were talking about that No Warning record, I was like deep into, I don't know how far into the conspiratainment stuff you went with Carl, because he was really deep in it then, but I was going deep into it at that time, and having signed to a major label and I had become a Viacom employee.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I knew at some point, it wasn't me, but I knew at some point the shit was going to be co-opted. I was just trying to have a plan B or a plan C, which you never want. I don't recommend that to anybody. You never want that. You want to be all in, especially if you're 17 or whatever, 15 to, I would even say like 29.
Yeah.
Just be all in. But when they came up to MTV with Mike Shinoda, I was like, oof, this is just career suicide. Wow. But when I heard the record, I was like, ooh, it's actually good.
It's still hard.
So, and I would joke with Zeus. I would say, hey, if we could mix this, we could just edit this down to like, instead of being 2.5 minutes or 3 minute songs, we could make these like 1 minute bangers, and hardcore kids would eat this shit up.
Yeah.
The second you hit the Sum 41 type of chorus or the Linkin Park note hitting, you've lost everybody from your base because they're just not ready for it.
I think that's how even No Warning looks at it as a band now.
Yeah, but not true, because I was.
But I thought,
tell me why. I was right.
But what it was so weird. It was so weird to see and hear about this stuff in the industry. Like, oh, we're gonna do the Hatebreed thing. We're gonna sign to a major label, and we're gonna pop off. And I'd be like, but you're changing your sound. How is that gonna work?
Yeah, no, that's not how it works.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So with that scenario, I thought, okay, if this shit is really being co-opted, how are they gonna make this palatable but still have the base
room for the OGs? Yeah, I mean, and time showed that it did.
A lot of bands couldn't do it. Poison the Well. There was a lot.
Most, you know who did it? Hatebreed. We're live at the Belasco at For the Children, presented by SOS Booking, with the frontman of one of the greatest bands of all time. Dan Seeley, King 9, Long Island Hardcore. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I feel good.
Tell me about the Gian music theory. What is the theory?
Yeah. You know the scene in The Matrix where there's like all the TVs and he's in the room?
Yeah.
And all of those TVs doing all this screaming and shaking their head.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
That is Gion's music theory. Whatever that is, that's what it is.
It comes through, and he and I agree on one very important thing.
What's that?
With music is that, especially in hardcore music, the best bands are the ones that show you time and time again that there's no rules in what we're doing.
Right.
Take away the rules. Some people, they write a thing and they go, oh, I can't do that.
Right.
I know that Gian goes, I can do that.
Well, of course he does.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I wish people could hear the shit he sends us that doesn't make the cut.
The King 9
If he's saying I can't do that, it's insane.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. But he is the like, you know, we all do our part in like writing and all that, but he is truly the driving force behind King 9 because his brain is so incorrectly wired that everything just needs to like come from him being like, I got this song, brother, I got this song, and just sends. You can't even hear it.
Some of Gion's texts are maybe
God
some of
tier.
the best parts of my whole life.
Yeah.
Are getting texted from Gian.
S tier text.
One that we talk about all the time is these are 3 separate texts. Brother, 4 separate texts. Brother, the world I shall conquer. 6 separate text 6.
Do you know the Dan Weinrub story with Gian?
No.
Dan Weinrub was getting texts from a number he didn't know for like 8 months. He just kept texting him, and finally Dan was like, "Dude, who the fuck is this?"
Brother, it's Gian.
He's like, "Bro," he went, "Brother, it's Gian."
Is this why? So now his new bit is every time he texts me, it's brother, it's Gian.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
Is that the origin of that?
Maybe
He's like, fuck, I gotta start telling people who I am.
Trying to make a change.
Yeah,
It's like the
could be.
signature.
Brother, you know, Jesus Christ. You know, you introduced me some time ago.
Who?
You. I took a trip to New York and I just hung out for a weekend. And I wasn't really into meme pages yet.
Okay.
You got me into meme pages. I remember one day you were like, yo, honestly, there's just one I follow. And we were just scrolling through it, looking for ones that you thought were funny. And you were explaining to me why they were funny. And the one that broke us, to this day, you know it's coming. It was just a picture of an N64 controller. And we were both looking at it, trying to find out why it was funny. And he was like, what is it? Oh, it's full of beans. And then we kept scrolling for a second. We just blew past it for a second, and then a second later processed that it was a controller full of beans. And for some reason, it was a 10-minute laughter. Hello, welcome. It's HardLore time. How are you doing? This is take 2 of this episode. I just rage quit on
We had a
him.
little blowout. I got to get something off my chest.
You're going to start with this?
That pop star movie fucking sucked,
Are you serious?
dude.
I might actually exit the call right now. And not
It was a chore.
bad albums by great bands now. Enough about. I won't bring up Popstar again. You
Neither
don't
will I.
either. We're
Neither
good.
will
I'm
I.
fine.
All right.
I got a fun one to talk about.
Okay.
It's in the tweet.
Oh,
Alpha Omega best wishes.
so again, we need you guys to understand. Colin and I love this record.
Love them.
James texted me and was like, Alpha Omega bad? Come on, man. And I had to like explain to him.
Yeah, no.
I'd be like, no,
This
no.
isn't our perspective. This is society's
This is
perspective.
right. This is like a band kind of jumping the shark over the hill, whatever.
To the listener.
To the listener,
But
to like
because
critics.
we're removed from these things.
Exactly.
We weren't there. So we're able to look at the songs scientifically and say, no, these are good. Trust me.
All of Alpha Omega is good.
It's the whole thing. Yeah.
Front to
Even
back.
the fucking extended jam at the end.
Yeah,
you know?
the jam, yeah. But from, dude, the hip hop song, the fucking.
I have an Eyes of Tomorrow tattoo, dude.
Yeah. Other Side of Madness.
Other Side of Madness is half of my personality. That's
true, actually, isn't it?
That's a lot of me in there.
Wow. And what's cool about it too is it's JJ back in the band.
Yeah, but Harley doing all the dope stuff.
But I'm but I just like the
Yeah.
idea that it's
No,
like we got
dude,
the
and
guy back.
Dude,
you know?
the poster where they look insane.
Oh my god, the World Traveler fucking
It's so cool.
I love it.
Whatever session drummer played on that,
Dude, the guitar player
monster.
too. The guitar player too. I forget his name, but I followed him on Instagram when I was researching this record like a long time ago. The guy who actually played, because Paris came back. He came back. Yeah. He was just like a guy. If you follow me on Instagram, there is I have a highlight of him playing in Germany and going up to a cab to like make it feedback. And he just falls on the entire cab and knocks the entire thing over.
Nice.
It's incredible. But
Rocky George was he on the next record?
I don't know. Let me really quickly look up who
Near
played
death
guitar.
experience is one that's not.
Yeah.
It's not a thing I can sit here and defend, but Say Goodbye to Mother Earth. Unbelievable track.
So the drummer was Dave DiCenso, and the guitar player was a guy named Gabby Abularach. I'm
Two fucking gods.
surely pronouncing that wrong, but he's got like big hair, like big curly hair. He's very recognizable, and the riffs are fucking awesome.
They're crazy. They're I don't see I could see somebody who's like coming from it just from like a Cro-Mags were a punk band perspective being like, yeah, now they're metal, so I don't like it.
Yeah, but that was always there.
But if you like both of those things,
yeah.
it's like, no, this is just them getting better. This is an evolution. It's not a change, especially when you look at Best Wishes.
One of my especially with that,
It's a
and, like,
perfect progression.
Yeah, perfect progression. One of my fondest memories was us in Europe, and we put that on, and everyone was just singing the entire.
We all knew it.
because it's
We
so
all
good.
love it.
It's so good.
So if you come up here and say it's bad, if you say Alpha Omega is bad, you're a person who is wrong about stuff.
And how does that
That's
feel?
something. It must not feel great. We're talking about LDB Fest 2023, a smash hit. Well, okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, listen, I want to thank anybody listening to this, and especially everybody that bought them boxes, right? I wouldn't have done it without you, because I had already reached my $500 cash withdrawal limit for the Friday, right? Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
I know. So we go back to home base, which was, again, Caesars, Southern Indiana.
And I wasn't gonna go. I resigned. I was like, I'm kind of not feeling great. We were gonna get there early the following day because we wanted to do man on the street stuff.
Yes.
And I was kind of like, you have fun, because it was like 11. It was like late enough
Yeah.
where I could turn in, you know. And then I heard our rooms. This is the first time where all of our rooms were like facing each, like the
Semi
doors.
close.
You're right across. So
I was right
heard-
across from you.
I think I heard Andy's door open, and I immediately just went like, "Hey," and like I was like, "All right, I'll go, whatever." Because again, if I have cash in my pocket, which
It ain't real.
it's not,
You know?
it's a write off. Uncle
Yeah.
Sam don't know about that one.
No.
It's gone. So we went down. I played Eureka.
Yeah, Eureka. Classic. Another Lock It Link franchise
Lock It
game.
Link, which
Eureka.
at FYA I did very well on.
Yeah.
And the night before, or the 2 nights before, I had put 100 in, and I left with 200. So I was like, oh, okay, that's good.
Free money.
Sat down at this one. First spin,
Yeah.
$780.
I truly, at that moment, was like, if Bo died right now, my world would be at peace.
The best part is you were like 5 feet away.
No, I was at the Eureka next to you at first.
Oh. No. Oh, dude,
No, you're right. I was
You were like 5 feet away because Andy was by you, and she heard the like.
I was on Dancing in Rio.
Yes.
I was on Dancing in Rio.
She like
Fucking
heard it,
helping
and
my
you
life.
literally looked at me like that. Like you gave me like a. Like I don't fucking care.
It's not that I didn't care.
It
It's
was
that
envy. I understand.
I was so bummed, dude. I was ruined.
So
I was down at that point. I was down about $1,600. Just one more, and then I was like, all right, he's killing Eureka. I better get up next to him.
Yeah, right. And
So at that point, I was down about $1,700. Right.
Yep.
So I got maybe 400 left, and I'm like, listen, if this, I need a miracle. It was miracle or suicide, one or the other.
Let me quote you. One of my favorite quotes of the entire weekend. He's playing. He's not doing well. I had already won and cashed out because I did what do you call the safety spin, or what's the
backup spin?
The backup spin, and it won. It hit another however much. But then
You're
I played
welcome.
down.
I
a
should
little
get 10% of all your winnings.
Yeah, maybe. I played down a bit, so I didn't walk away with what I won.
You got to go to an even number.
Yeah,
you can't just leave it.
Exactly. And while you were playing, you said, I'm about to perform harakiri over here, something like that.
No, it's just like if this next spin doesn't hit, I'm performing harakiri in the middle.
And then like 3 more spins went by, and you said, "You got that sword handy?"
So, at that point, I'm down about $1,800.
And this is when Andy and I are giving each other concerned looks.
You had no need to be concerned.
She and I were behind you, just kind of going like, "Do we do anything?"
What would you have done?
Hey,
You think you could have fucking stopped me?
hey,
Bo?
big guy.
No. Sun's getting real low.
Yeah.
I knew in my heart. I was playing Huff and More Puff. I didn't get that fucking wheel one time in $1,500. Not a one wheel. I knew it was hiding. So I said, all right, here's my net worth.
Were
I'm
you
putting
at the
it in.
same machine? Because there were 2.
I was on the same one every night.
Okay. Gotcha.
Same one. So that was my money I got back.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
That's how that works. I primed it. I crimed it. I stole it all back. And I was doing $5 bets the night before. So this night I was like, all right, I don't care what happens. I'm just going through the rest of my money in $10 spins. I was going.
You put in 4.
Put in 400.
I think
Got down to about 200.
I think it was like 220 something. Yeah.
So that's like, I'm looking at that counting. Like I have 20 spins left before I'm dead.
Right. Before I murder myself.
Before there's a crime scene on this floor. Sure enough, there was the wheel.
You got 3 saws, and I like yelled.
Oh,
something that's, I think maybe people who don't gamble might not understand is the communal excitement when a friend or even a stranger hits
the
something.
stranger on the machine next to you is your best friend in the whole world. In that moment,
it's like a palpable excitement,
and that's what you're chasing. That's
really
why
is,
you don't give up.
It really is.
Because once
so
you
much
feel
fun.
that, few things feel that way again.
Very,
and which is like a really positive thing for anybody. So I get the wheel finally.
Yeah.
Which in Huff and More Puff, when you get the wheel, one of many bonuses happens. You get the mini, which at my point was like $100.
Yeah.
So if I had gotten the mini after all that work, again, harakiri, cut off, done.
Death.
Had no head, no balls. Or the minor was about 500. I would have been bummed, but I would have been all right. That's fuel. That'll keep me going for another 500 in spins. You know.
Yeah.
Then there's the free games, which in this case is the buzzsaw feature, which is the second best, the mansions feature, which is the best, or the mega hat feature, which is the worst.
Yeah. You said when you landed on it, this is worst case scenario.
I got the mega hat feature, which is the worst.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there counting my days, counting my minutes, really. But then it was the whole board.
The entire board was the hat. Yeah.
Was the hat.
The
So and just so that if you're listening and you're following along, when you get these hats during the free games, the LDB official podcast is about fucking Huff and More Puff.
Yeah.
This is my dream.
Yeah.
When you get these hats, every hat you get that lands on where another hat landed becomes a stick hat. If it lands on that again, it becomes a mansion. Because it's like a big bad wolf blowing the house down.
He's huffing and he's more puffing.
He's huffing and he's puffing. So the gimmick, you want the gold house. If you get the gold house, you have a chance to get the grand, which in my case was $12,000.
Yeah, the
Or
grand
the major,
prize.
which was like $1,400.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got a good shot. 1 mansion, 2 mansion, 3 mansions fall, 4 mansions hit, 5 mansions hit, a 6th mansion hits, and I can't believe it. At this point, I'm like, guys, this could be
a life-changing amount of money.
This could be the one.
Yeah.
And again, remember, I'm down about $1,800 at this point. No, more.
Yeah, well, with what you put into the machine.
Yeah, I'm down about $1,950 at this point. Which to me, I'm sitting here thinking I am ruined. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Game over.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps my last gamble. You know?
Mm-mm.
For the week. That was my last time gambling that week, for sure. Needless, I don't want to get into the gory details here, but I got it all back.
Basically, one of the mansions was 1,000,
Yeah.
and you said out loud like, "That's like $1,800." No, right? No. And
I
it's the
couldn't, well,
only
because in
time
those
in
moments,
it was the
your
only time in
mind
my
plays-
entire life, my experience with you, where I've seen you be unsure.
We're live at FYA Fest in Tampa, Florida. How you doing, Bo?
So good.
We have one of the sexiest frontmen alive, Sebastian Paba, one of my favorite people in the whole world. We dance together, we dine together, we battle together. Are you having a good time at FYA Fest?
It's one of the best fest experiences I've ever had in my life.
Bob Wilson? What's your favorite Florida band ever?
Flow Rider, the rap.
This is incredible. Breaking news: Sebastian Paba loves Flow Rider. Back to you.
We're here at Knock Loose headquarters. Brian's going to take us to the secret lair where all these songs were born and raised.
Not true.
And birthed. And written.
Recorded, engineered.
This is where Knock Loose was born.
This is where Knock Loose was born. Wow. This garage is where I met Isaac and said, he's too metal.
Can you believe that? Look at them now, besties.
Besties.
Take us on in.
Besties for the resties.
Let's see this motherfucker.
Cover up this code.
Yeah, don't look at the code. Don't come for that code, I'll fuck you up. Okay?
They change it?
What did I say to you, Sean? Don't do
No,
it.
they didn't.
Wow.
Was this the Slipknot drum kit he played on?
Is this the PV?
So,
what's the hardest you've ever laughed?
I can tell you easily in a top 5 hardest I've ever laughed
That
with
works.
Knocked Loose.
That works.
We were writing the EP that came out over quarantine, Tearing the Fabric of Life. We wrote it in a cabin in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, like deep in the woods. We wanted to like haunted it deep in the woods vibe. And Isaac does this thing, and only when you write with him will you ever see it. But Isaac, like, we write full band, jam session. Everybody's pitching ideas. Isaac will get so excited about an idea that he'll present it before he's actually worked it out, so then he works it out. And
Right,
so he goes, dude, what if? And then he's like, okay, what if we did, and he'll like give the idea.
Calculating.
There was a moment where we're sitting there and we had just been writing all day, like we're all out of it. And Isaac's like, oh, it would be cool if we, and then he went, and he's looking at Paxson, but he's zoned out. And he's like, what if we... And Paxson behind the drums went, send it to me. And I was like crying on the floor.
Oh,
it was so funny.
Pardon this interruption. This is super important. We have some things to talk to you all about. You know, this show runs on a few very special things.
We really do.
And I'll tell you what I personally run on, Bo. AG1.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
The foundational nutritional supplement that keeps this tank flowing.
I look forward to taking my AG1 every day. I feel like I'm like doing something. Like it's a quest that I'm completing every day.
1 scoop of this foundational nutritional supplement in 12 to 16 ounces of water every single day. You will need less caffeine. Wow. You will have more energy throughout your day. And all these vitamins, minerals, antioxidants that you are missing are to be found in this one beautiful thing. And we are here to sweeten the deal a little bit for you. Because if you go to athleticgreens.com/HardLore, you're going to get 5 free travel packs. And in this genre of music, traveling is essential. It's inevitable. You need those packs.
That's right. It doesn't matter if you're playing shows, going to shows, visiting friends, doing whatever. You can take it with you.
We all travel. If you're going to the Alps and you're going to be in a cold weather climate like me, you need AG1. You need them travel packs, right?
If you're sitting inside a perfectly comfortable environment, like a sane person like me, you still need to take your AG1.
You need those travel packs just in case you need to go down the street for something.
You never know.
Listen, we thank you, AG1, for the support this year.
Yeah.
Our bodies would be in shambles without you, and that's a fact. It's simply a fact. Thank you, AG1. Check them out. HardLore this week and every week is also brought to you by Manscaped.
Oh.
Merry Christmas to Manscaped.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, whatever they got over there.
Yep.
Boy, do we love Manscaped.
We really do. And we know, we've heard testimonial after testimonial from the HardLore listeners that you all love it. Mm-hmm. It's part of your daily lives now, just as it is ours. I can't imagine life without Manscaped. I won't imagine life without Manscaped. That's a fact.
That's really true. And
your balls will thank you.
And it works. It works for, you don't have to be a man. You know,
right.
It works for everybody. It's escaping business, and they got all.
It's not just your balls that will thank you. Your draws will thank you in general. Just
so good.
You're welcome, Manscaped, for that one.
Yeah, tell them what they get if they use our very special code.
Oh my God, code HardLore. You talking about that one?
That's the one.
The one that gets them 20% off and free shipping. We know you're all flush with cash right now after the holidays.
That's right.
You got a gift card from Granny. Granny thinks you stink. That's why she gave you money. If you use code HardLore, you get 20% off and free shipping of all Manscaped products.
Everybody needs it. Somebody you know needs it. There's no reason not to use it. And tell them HardLore sent you by using our code.
Please. It'll mean so much, and you'll love it. Your balls will thank you. Your draws will thank you. Your boys will thank you. As in us. Yeah. Back to this glorious best of episode that we have brought you this week. Bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year. How many McNuggets can you down in one sitting? How many do you think you could?
I have gotten 40 and could have finished them, but didn't need to like
guilt
gorge.
stopped you?
Yeah, well, I was just like, I'm at a comfortable level, and I like cold nuggets actually, so whatever. If I was hungry and if I was pressed, 60. I think I could eat 60 nuggets.
I think there's a difference between could and like I could eat McNuggets all day and not stop. You know?
Yeah, right. They're made for that.
The problem is that you start to become aware and go, I should not be doing this.
Yes.
Could.
How many? Yeah, if you had to.
If I had to?
Yeah, if it was like, in order for chili to live well.
probably?
You think you could do 200 at once?
100%. I'm going to try to eat 200 nuggets.
Give us a dissertation on Bloodborne. Now's your platform.
Where do we begin? I have to spoil it to dissert it.
If you've not played, skip 5 minutes.
Skip about an hour if you've not played Bloodborne. we got some time. So
he has told me this before, and it does rock.
So the hunt is what it's all about, you know? Essentially, I'm spoiling big time. So if you've not played Bloodborne,
this is it.
Stop.
It's your warning.
Essentially, this church, and I might be getting some things wrong because I'm getting this from reading item descriptions about a fucking knife. This church discovers this alien blood, and the alien blood can heal anything, but eventually you turn into a beast. So the alien blood has healing properties, all kinds of stuff. It's this miracle thing. But you're going to turn into a beast and you're going to start hunting. So who do they send to hunt the beasts? The hunters. What do the hunters use to heal? The old blood.
It's a vicious cycle.
It's a cycle. And like obviously that's a mystery that is uncovered the whole time if you're paying attention.
You're like discovering little
clues. And you learn more about like the first hunters and like the best hunters. And you fight a lot of them. The first hunter is like the big final boss.
What's his name? Or do you not know yet?
Garmin? No, you meet him very quickly. But there's a secret final boss if you find 3 umbilical cords.
Yeah.
The best ending of the game, the best one. You turn into this little slug. We're in Chicago, Illinois.
We are.
With a very special guest, Addie Matheson.
Fucking sink or swim. Let's figure it out.
What you're describing right now, I'm feeling with our show.
Mm-hmm.
Just the fear of losing it somehow.
But we just keep making stuff. And
yeah,
you
just Absolutely. Consistency is fucking all you need is consistency. You guys know what you're doing. People, we haven't even talked about Hate Breed once.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
I think maybe we get there now, you know?
We can get there now. Like, anyway, whatever. I'm highly successful now.
Yeah.
I'm highly successful now.
So successful.
I own, 11 restaurants.
Is that true?
I own 11
no
restaurants.
Wow.
I got New York Times bestseller twice. Like, there's just I have award-winning shows that I'm the executive producer. It's like it's all a bit much, to be honest.
Sure.
How successful I am, and just like how sound I am.
I'd say
there's no ego.
It's about time.
Yeah. No one would have thought. I wouldn't have put money on it. None of my friends would have put money on it. It's incredible. And then
the first time we spoke about this at all, you very seriously said to me, you were like, everybody thinks I'm rich. I'm not.
No.
And I was like, okay.
I'm sorry. I get it. But there's things that like now I am.
Sure.
But it is like
rightfully
I don't
so.
know what rich is. I don't know what rich is. I'm not rich. But
Somebody
it's just like
described rich so well the other day.
well, I believe rich. I truly believe rich is you can pay your bills, you can pay your debt. Once you are debt free and you're paying your bills, you are rich.
Yeah.
That is it.
Which is like sad.
You don't need
but
a
also
car.
good.
You don't need a car. You don't need anything.
Well-
if you can just pay your bill, you can have a car, whatever you want.
doesn't.
But it's just like that's the thing is like people think that rich is something else, and it's just like or rich is happiness. But it's just like if you are doing the things to get you out of debt, or if you're doing the things that gets you to a consistent financial place, you are guaranteed probably to be sound and happy and doing things that you actually want to be doing.
We've talked
In
about
some
that a
respect,
lot.
but-
Well, just like putting that out into the world and being like, I'm not gonna be a piece of shit and an angry fucking spiteful nerd. I'm gonna manifest good shit and not be a
visualize.
dickhead. Yeah,
I
visualize.
honestly, the amount of visualization I do and like intention building that I do every day is wild.
You got any mantras?
You're Not There Yet is a humbling one that I run a lot. And I'm writing a screenplay called that. But it's like, You're Not There Yet is like my whole MO. Because it's just like, whenever you say why, why not? Why don't I have that? Why don't I have that job? I wanted this. I wanted just you're not there yet.
Yeah.
You haven't done the things to get you that.
Yeah.
So whenever you think why don't I have that? Think about why you don't have that, and the answer will always be you're not there yet.
Wow.
You haven't done the actual work and taken the steps to get there. I've got a lot of things, but it's just like they're still in my brain every single day. I'm like, I want this. I want that.
What do you want?
Me?
Yeah.
Right now, I mostly just buy motorcycle parts, but it's just like
the dopest parts.
well, just like good stuff from like the 30s and 40s.
Let me chill, man. It's Anthony from Ceremony. Anthony, going back to Ceremony now for me, I was surprised how hard it is. And I think at the time as a kid who's like, I like Hate Breed.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, to me, Ceremony is a different thing.
Yeah.
There's like
different genre of music.
But like
for sure.
Barely. You know?
Yeah.
Like you're one palm you'd away sometimes. from
Yeah.
What's the song after Curse? There's a part in it that's just like just a hard ass 0134.
Yeah.
How?
You know what? What's crazy? It's 2, 3, 5, 6, but it's in D, so it is 0134.
Ah, look at you. Impressive.
I know.
Yeah.
That's the connection.
Yeah.
It's literally flowing through.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've heard your Mount Rushmore. You know.
Yeah.
I know where you skew.
You know where
musically.
Yeah.
Somewhere between Prince and Youth of Today.
Yeah.
What was the hardest, man, as a youth, where you were like, I think I like this too?
So, I know this is very close to in the spectrum that is Prince and Youth of Today. This is pretty much at Youth of Today, but we all worshipped Negative Approach.
Yeah.
Which I know it's, obviously it's mostly fast.
No, but
and
hard.
people kind of associate hard in these modern times.
And heavy, which are different things.
And like a lot of times people will kind of, they need something to be kind of slow or halftime to be hard, which I think that is obviously not how it works.
If you do it right, the fast part can be the hardest part.
Dude, there are literal Morrissey songs that are hard.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like that, it doesn't mean anything.
Of course.
Intention and presentation.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. So we were just negative approach worship.
Okay.
But, you know, trying to, being of the time where like tempo changes were very of that time, you know, where if you hear us now, like there aren't, like Runner Park has no tempo changes. Not a breakdown, I don't think, on that whole record.
How much pre-production did you do on Runner Park? Because to me, I find pre-production is what is great, but also like when you're programming drums on a computer, you sometimes you're like, I don't want to change the tempo. That would be a lot.
When you say pre-production, or do you mean by myself or with
like collectively?
Zero.
That's sick.
We have never done any. We have not demoed. We did not demo anything until our second record with Matador.
Okay.
Until the L-Shaped Man.
L-Shaped Man.
So, I mean, the demo is a demo.
Yeah.
Most of those songs arrived in other things. So, by definition,
right, you put the L-Shaped Man demos out. For the world to hear. Which is a cool move.
And that's the only thing we've ever demoed.
So you were like, if we did this one time, you got it.
Yeah.
You're not gonna believe this thing.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do this since the Master Killer tier one. Is basically that, but for breakdowns only. My next pick, Bo. You ready for this?
Yeah. So I said Cannibal. Okay, what's your next
Yes.
one? And then you said Scourge. So really, it should be my turn. But
You want to go?
I mean,
go ahead. Take it away.
Go ahead. I'm looking something up while you're doing it.
My next pick.
Yeah.
You're gonna shit both your asses. Metallica. For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Oh, beautiful. The whole thing
It was
is
that.
a pit.
It was that or Thing That Should Not Be.
Also, the whole thing is a pit. Both those songs. Beautiful.
But think about what dun 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 did for music.
Dude, yeah.
There's
You're
a lot
gonna
of things
tell
we
me-
might not have ever had without dun 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 dun.
Okay,
dun,
so
dun,
let's
dun.
really extrapolate, right? What that's 85, I think, right?
Ride the
Came out?
Lightning?
I think so.
That's crazy.
Because Kill 'Em All, I think it was 83, so it's got to be.
It's early.
Well,
They were
okay.
going dun 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 in the early 80s. That much is true.
So what I'm saying, 84. So what I'm saying is
84, dude.
84, July 27th.
0431 in 84.
Yeah. It's actually 0321.
Oh my God, even dumber. That's amazing.
Yeah. From that, do we get death metal parts, and then do we get beatdown parts? God, I keep punching this fucking mic. But you know, like if you extrapolate it,
Yeah.
I really do think there's like
It's a domino.
direct-
That's dude. For Whom the Bell Tolls intro pit is a big domino in the Hatebreed scale.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like
Perfect.
the first. It's one of the first dominoes in that
Really well said.
equation. So I gotta give it up to For Whom the Bell Tolls because that part A is still hard.
Still hard.
B, what is that? E flat?
So here's something that's weird about Ride is it's A445. It's all tuned up. I personally think that it was sped up. I think it's a little studio magic. I think it's to help the double bass on Fight Fire with Fire. If you also notice, James' voice is never that high again. Wasn't really that high on Kill 'Em All either.
Well, it also sounds altered.
Yeah.
You're right.
So
You're onto
it's
something.
a sneaking suspicion.
Wow, 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 do, 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 do. The truth is out there. And it's on HardLore. What's your next one?
My next one, we're bringing it back. We're coming.
Bring it back.
We're going straight back to hardcore.
I love it.
Terror.
Oh.
A little song called One with the Underdogs. The
Wow.
reason that that's my pick is what do I always say about a particular Madball song being a perfect hardcore song?
Can't Stop, Won't Stop.
That's a perfect hardcore song to me. It's short. It gives you what you want. It's got the
Verse, pit, verse. Song's over.
One with the Underdogs has the crazy triplet chorus. It's got one of the easiest, and I mean easiest as in like caveman-y breakdowns. It's got Martine saying, I said bleh.
Yeah.
That fucking part is so cool. And also, it was like the follow-up record.
Yes.
You know, it was the first song on the sophomore record.
Yeah.
And it kicks ass.
Recorded in Van Nuys.
Dude, fucking With a Heart Made of Steel. When I first heard that lyric, I was like, I don't really get that. And like over the years, it's like, dude, that lyric is incredible.
Yeah, that's all I want in music now.
Everything about that. And Terror is also a band that obviously has no shortage of pit parts.
No, they're still writing them, and they're like getting better, which is fucked up.
But that one for me, I also really love fucking. Is it what's the one with Furnace on it?
Yo, Spit My Rage is
unbelievable. But you know what? It made me then think of my Slayer pick. So
I fogged everybody except for you.
Yeah, we bumped. I'll hug you after that. I'll hug you after this.
Pretty seldom.
I'm a hugger for sure, but I've never hugged Taylor.
I mean, he's recording.
He's recording. That's why we're going.
Oh, he's rolling.
Okay, so you guys
you
gotta
and
do
I
the
hug
intro.
Celebratory. You know.
Yeah, it's like we did it.
We did it, and that's good.
Like
I think
yesterday, I think there was a hug. That was probably the third one.
Yeah.
You know. Hello, welcome. We're gonna deep dive into Military Gun's debut LP, Life Under the Gun. Very High, track 2. I will say when I heard this, I was like, that's track 2.
Yeah.
This track 2 sounds like track 2. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, this was one that the self-consciousness before Taylor, self-consciousness.
I was right. You were just like, does this song suck?
No, I thought it would define my life.
Oh shit!
I was like, this is our creep. From the moment we wrote it, I was like, this is our creep. Like
it is currently, and let me tell you, Do It Faster has 1 million on Spotify.
Yeah, but Very High's
number
top.
1.
Yeah, and from the moment we wrote this song June 2020. Wow. And held on to it since then.
Were you high as fuck when you wrote it?
No, sober. I'm a day sober. I don't create high, nothing. As someone who loves
it would be cooler
drugs
if you did.
and alcohol, I don't create anything on them. Those are escape. Like that's me shutting my brain down.
Would you do like an experimental thing?
I did mushrooms and went to the space, and then I got a bad phone. I went to the practice space, and I had a really bad phone call that for some reason I answered, and then that resulted in don't pick up the phone when you're on drugs.
Which is a great song. So he did write a great song on drugs. But
No. That was the result of trying to write a song.
Right. So what you're saying is you should probably do it again.
No.
Don't.
No, because I left.
The phone
I did not write any songs.
But you wrote a great song about
that moment.
Phone call you had. So pick up the phone while you're on drugs.
Yeah.
And then tell the world about it.
Yeah, I was just on mushrooms and I answered like a text phone call and I was like, well, I'm ruined.
So you got high as fuck, very high.
Did you say tax?
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
Very high is your magnum opus to you. Is that?
No, it's not. But I just felt like I felt like it would have such a big imprint on us, and I knew it would change the trajectory and the vibe, and because even then, like, "Don't Pick Up the Phone" had not been written yet, so the drug aspect of the band was not like a thing yet. Like it was a thing I'd never sung about drugs.
This is like if Jerry Garcia heard this song, he'd be like, "Brother,
yeah,
me too. You got something."
But yeah, and I think the great part of the song was that there was almost no pressure to it because it was Will's first song I ever wrote. I knew that like it was not all there from what he originally sent me, and then it was about me trying to make it like a different song from what he originally sent. I just went into it and I was like, my friend wrote a song. I'm going to record vocals on it no matter what to encourage him. So for me, I didn't think I was making a Military Gun song. I thought we were just having fun.
You're like, I'm humoring this.
Yeah.
I'm just this amateur.
Yeah. We'll see it through and then we'll get it better next time, you know, like, and then as soon as I laid the hook down, I was like,
God damn it.
What's happening? You know, like this is fucked up. And we left the space that day going like, I feel like we kind of wrote a hit and like I feel like it's bigger than any other song we've written and I don't understand what that will do to our band because it's fascinating
to look at it
better song than anything we have and And then Taylor's like, that song fucking sucks.
And you were like, all right, I'm old.
I got to pull up the rough mix because that twinkly lead.
Okay, no, you don't have to pull up the rough mix.
Me all
okay.
off.
Is that an option?
No.
No.
Exclusive.
Okay, so check this out. Ooh. There is.
That's Malachi Black. How you doing, brother? You got to be the first Dutch world champion.
Yes,
in WWE.
correct. Mm-hmm.
I have to imagine that was pretty special.
Yes. So special. Yes, very much so. But the thing for me as well is I'm a very much like, okay, now that you're standing in it, don't let it consume you kind of person. Because in the long run, it doesn't matter anything. Right now, make the best of what you have. Yes, you have this, but don't let it control. Don't let this be the, well, I've done that, so guys, I'm good. Kind of thing. And I feel that's something that as like wrestlers or artists or athletes, I feel that can be a death trap.
Sure.
So yes, it was very special. I absolutely adore my days in NXT. I will hold them dearly for, the rest of my life. But it definitely did come with some complications because the WWE, especially at that point, I want to argue without trying to sound like an arrogant asshole that period of NXT, the 2017 to 2020 was the best NXT has ever been. I feel like we had the wrestling world on fire. I feel that we had the wrestling world. We were the blueprint for how it should have been done for a long time. And I think we made a lot of people better. And I think we made a lot of people go, I want to go there. I want to be in that group of guys. And the reason why that group of guys was special is because we were all competing with each other, but we all loved each other. We all had respect. Anyone from my wife, who was part of the whole thing with Andrade and Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Roderick Strong, Tommaso, Johnny, and you have to say it, Velveteen at the time, of course. Well, they were all integrated in the Viking Raiders, Ricochet, Matt Riddle. It was this group of guys that for years was on the indies and just grinding away to then all be scooped up and put in front of guys like Terry Taylor, Robbie Brookside, Norman Smiley, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Matt Bloom, and just having their minds molded into this is what we want you guys to do. Now, I will also say one of the biggest changes came when they did Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne, which is, in my opinion, still one of the best matches that NXT's ever hosted. Those two had phenomenal match. I think both of them are extremely talented guys. I'm glad that they're still so young and they can still go so long. But I remember they had that match, and I remember very vividly Shawn Michaels going, okay, what are we teaching people? Are we teaching people what we're doing, or are we doing that? Because I want to do that. And that is kind of how a lot of it kind of because we were pushing that narrative for a while, where we just kind of went no, let us do what we do. And slowly but surely, they kind of let the ropes go. Now, and I will have to say one thing, I'm making it sound like, it was just us. No, because we needed the revivals. We needed the Wesley Blakes and the Buddy Matthews and the Finn Balors and the Baron Corbins to kind of set all of that up so that we, organically, say Mashinsuke, we could inherit what they gave us and then, take it to the next level. I will never not give those guys their props because those dudes worked their asses off because I feel that they changed the level too.
We are at the Whitney in Detroit, Michigan. Detroit's own haunted mansion.
A lady comes in, middle of the day, middle of the week, okay, it's happy hour. She sits down right here at this stool, orders a drink. Takes a couple sips of her drink, she goes into the restroom, she's in there for about a minute and a half, comes back out, stands here, asks for a glass of water. Bartender brings her a glass of water. She then re-enters the restroom, okay? She's in the restroom for about 12 to 15 minutes. She comes back out, sits back down to her drink, okay? She's enjoying her beverage. Bartender comes up to her and says, are you enjoying yourself? She says, everything is fantastic, and your bathroom attendant is lovely. Now, we do not employ a bathroom attendant. So, Alex, the bartender at the time, says to her, I apologize. You must have been talking to another guest. We don't employ a bathroom attendant.
I love that he was like, hey, idiot. We don't fucking have one. Wow.
So she gets up. She goes back into the restroom. She immediately exits the restroom. She stands right here. talking to Alex. Says, well, where did she go? Yeah, and Alex looks at her being slightly sarcastic, that most service industry people are, and says, I don't know, maybe you saw a ghost. Now, said atheist lady does not only not believe in God, let alone does not believe in ghosts. Sure. Okay? Takes this very, very offensively.
Oh.
Okay? They get into a heated argument. Now, I don't know any of this, by the way. I don't know any of this. So I'm running around, I'm doing a couple of things. I walk past the host stand, and the host stops me, says, hey, we got enough set guests in the bar, they need you up there, right? So I straighten my tie. All right, who wants what for free? Here we go, right? And I come walking up the stairs. So I come up and I see a lady.
Floating, kind of see-through.
Yeah, floating, that would have been a giveaway.
I saw someone in the
But no, she's standing here, very well put together. Probably early 30s, okay? Blue ladies, well, woman suit, so a blazer, slacks.
Nice.
Pinstripe, lighter blue silk blouse underneath, okay? Hair kind of pulled back, but not tight, but out of her face, looking like she just came out of a board meeting
Just
somewhere.
a sane outfit.
Right, just a very sane
absolutely
outfit.
level-headed outfit.
Right,
I got it.
exactly, okay?
Absolutely.
And she says, this isn't funny. You guys sneaking people around through hidden doors trying to scare your guests. And so I say, I apologize, miss. I seem to not fully be aware of what's going on. Why don't you start from the beginning and tell me the story? So she tells me the story. And the whole time, she's very articulate about it. She knows she saw somebody. She knows she talked to
She
somebody.
didn't seem inebriated.
She didn't seem inebriated in any way.
She only had a few sips.
Yeah, right. And,
but who knows? Those board meetings
It clearly
get
went
crazy.
right through.
Thank you so much for being here for the first ever air-conditioned live HardLore. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Martine Stewart. Yeah, woo! Martine Stewart. I wanted to do something because I don't know if the people in this room know
No way.
just how many bands you've been in.
Played in, featured in,
so
been in.
I need a volunteer.
Oh God.
So where is
volunteer. You, sir, with the with the glasses and the hat.
Familiar
and
face.
the guy that sold our merch outside.
Play him
I don't know
down.
you at all.
Play him
So here's what we're gonna do. What's your name, sir? Jeff. So we're gonna go from the top here chronologically.
Chronologic.
From Donnybrook, it goes straight to Terror. Terror has been. Oh, you can do better than that. Yeah, there we go.
It's the same.
Yeah, Terror has been 17
are the-
years now or something like that.
17 years.
Yeah, 17 years. in
It
the
was
band.
was it after One with the Underdogs? Was recorded?
Yeah, it was as always the hard way came out.
Oh,
okay. So, like I'm in the layout of like, even though I didn't get to record anything, which breaks my heart, because it didn't work that way chronologically, but that's the record I came in on. Yeah.
That's probably about the time that I met you as well.
And you were like,
I was a child.
11 years old.
I was an
or something.
11-year-old that all I knew was he was the one that would hurt me in the pit, and you were the one that would be like, "Hey, buddy, I'm sorry
he did that.
Here's a hat."
That's been my life. That's why I'm so diplomatic.
But then
It's
look,
been a blessing. Yeah,
he
yeah.
brought us. He hand delivered our boxes today. He's a
So,
heart of gold on it.
Times have changed. Yeah.
But don't cross him.
yeah. So I went Terror, and then
That was where
that's
it's gonna
been
get
forever.
crazy, I would
Yeah.
imagine.
So then I feel like, I honestly don't know.
Like it or not, is
Oh shit! Where is that? That's before Terror.
before Terror.
You know what's crazy is so Like It or Not was. How dare you? Like It or Not was before Terror, and now I don't really. You know what's crazy is there's an in between Like It or Not and Terror. Yeah. No, you could have left. mine.
No.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So it went Like It or Not, Lion. This is good. A lot of people don't know this one. Righteous Jams.
You played in Righteous Jams?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. I was in the band for a quick minute. I played like maybe 7 shows with them. A couple of them were here in LA. I played in Massachusetts.
Was it after the LP or pre?
It was before Business as Usual came out.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So I was with.
I'm dyslexic.
Yeah, I was like there when they were talking about who put the record out. Is Rev, right? Put out Business as Usual.
Yeah.
So I like went to
Wasn't
a
it?
dinner.
Or was it Bridge 9?
I thought it was Bridge 9.
Business as Usual was Rev. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Business as Usual was
Locking Out Records.
in post.
Is what?
I'm gonna put the answer in post.
It's gonna
appear
and
on the
cut
screen.
this.
We're gonna look so.
Okay.
I knew the answer.
So yeah, that was short-lived because right after I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be in this band. Is the only non-straight edge member. But then
That happens a lot to you.
Yeah, it happens a lot. Then the Terry thing happened, and I was like, I think I got to do this instead. You know.
How
The right call.
What did that feel like at the time? Because Terror was like truly on top after 2 perfect hardcore records.
What did it feel like? I don't even remember.
Was it
so
who
long
approached
ago.
you?
Who
Scott?
pushed me?
Who approached you? to do
Approach?
Terror?
Oh, Todd was long gone by then.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Was it Scott who was like,
Yeah.
sir?
Not to keep talking about my brother here, but Scott was afraid to ask me without talking to him first because Donnybrook was still active. So he went to him to get his blessing. He was like, is it okay if I ask your brother to be in our band? And that's how it happened.
That's
yeah.
a nice thing to do. Really.
I guess. I mean, to me, it felt a little...
well, to 11-year-old me, I would have been like, well, he
I'm
runs.
a grown man at the time. Like, dude, you could talk to me about it.
Who's older? You or Dre?
He's older, yeah.
Okay.
That's the rules.
There's the rule.
Yeah, that's the rule. So,
People ask to go. They go through him to get to me all the time.
So yeah, that's how
The
that
answer's
happened.
no.
And then, dude, then it goes like, so.
Keep holding it.
So.
And now we have just one more thing.
People might not know this about this man. He can sing.
Dude.
He's got some pipes.
You're gonna know Martine Stewart as the man that knocked your socks off singing "Kiss from a Rose." Let's see. Thank you so much. We're HardLore. Thank you, Martine.
Yeah.
Son of Fury!
Hey.